Okay, let's clear the air. You know how we have a meeting.
Oh no.
Every week.
Mm-hmm.
Dave and I are in the meeting. There's about 10 people sitting around a table, 10 or 12. We discuss events that are coming up promotionally for the radio station, okay? And yesterday, it's fairly light agenda. But
I have some things to say.
well, one thing came up. I can't even give you the topic because it was so inside radio.
Okay.
So there's no point. You'd understand it, but no one cared.
Yeah.
And so we started on it, and Littlest Patriot, my arch nemesis, leads this meeting. And
It's shocking.
he leads it, and something came up, and I challenged him on it. And it turned into a 1 hour back and forth, probably 55 minutes of a back and forth, and nothing else was discussed. That was all that was discussed. And everybody else just sat, and almost no one said a word.
I was going to ask, did you hold others captive? Like,
yeah, and
sit back down. I have to go pick up my children. Stay.
That's right.
Was this a matter of interpretation, or is there a right and wrong? I mean, are there two sides to one story?
It was no. It
Can
was
you
such
break it down the inside the tape?
The thing of it is, we agreed on like 90% of it, but yet the 10% we disagreed on continued to come up, and I think he made some really good points. But by the end, and I think Littlest Patriot does this to me sometimes, I felt he mischaracterized what I was saying. So by the end, I got really worked up and heated and stormed out of the room. Okay? So I stormed out.
Oh, man.
I'm so proud of you.
And said, I'm going to go buy a candle.
Okay. So, I went straight to the gym. You know how I go to the gym every day.
So now you're enraged.
Yeah, all right. And this is the interesting part of it. This will tell you how I was. At the gym where I go, we wear this heart rate monitor, and your heart rate goes up on the screen. You can see. Well, usually I get there 10 or 15 minutes early. I'm in the lobby. My heart rate is like 50. I mean, it's low, 48, something like that. Well, immediately when I put it on, I looked up at the screen. It was bright red, and it was like 105. It was just pumping. And,
still angry.
Yeah, still angry. And someone there said, your heart rate monitor must be...
Shut up. You can get it too. What?
She said, Chris, I think you may have a problem with your heart rate monitor. I don't. Heart rate
it's
monitor,
working fine.
It's right on. It was right on the money. And, it was a real rare display of a real back and forth, it started as a healthy debate, but it just kept spiraling, and that was probably my fault. It just kept going and going and going. And the others sitting around, Dave saw it. The others sitting around.
Just the awkward silence.
Yeah. And then they would try to speak up, and we would just shut them down. Poor Squidward tried to say something.
Is this something you had been sitting on for a while, or just
no? It was
because I know things fester in you, and then they explode like a pimple.
I think probably other things are buried and festering, and that.
So this was an unscheduled.
Oh, it's completely. It just completely came up out of nowhere. I mean, just one little incident came up, and I said, well, I don't think that's right. And he goes, what do you mean it's not right? And I can't, again, it's so inside, you wouldn't even understand. You would, but most people wouldn't even understand it. And so he said, what do you mean it's not right? We have to do it this way. I said, you shouldn't do it that way. And he was, and we were back and forth. And it wasn't bad at first, but by the end, I was getting heated. And that's when and then I.
What do you think they said after you stormed out?
Oh my God! You know what?
Did Dave stay behind?
Yeah, everyone
will know.
I was the only one.
Well, they won't really be truthful till Dave's out, because remember, Dave will.
He's my ally.
Yeah, sort of. Dave's on his side.
I think we'll get a sense from Dave.
Oh, he'll say. He'll say.
And did anyone? I'm sure someone did which is in every storm out media. Somebody just went, "Wow."
Yeah.
Yeah, who's there to make the one-liner quick to lighten the tension?
Dave tried.
Diffuse.
Yeah. Dave tried. See, it started when B.B. Shea said one little thing.
I knew it.
Okay, and it wasn't. He just gave the information. And I said he asked a question. He asked a clerical question, and I said, "What do you mean you're not?" And we're not. There's a prize that a woman has won. Okay, and he goes, the rules are she can't win. And I said, what do you mean she can't win? And then it was explained to me, and I said, and so we went back and forth.
I know what this is now.
Okay, yeah, it was all right. So it went really back and forth, and at the end of it, I mean, we'd been talking for an hour. Dave turns to BB Shades and says, well, you had to ask the question, and no one laughed. I mean, no one, because it had been going on.
It was too serious.
It was,
now.
and it was like it had been an hour since that happened. You know,
Yeah.
Boy, when you get into one, and you know, it felt like by the time it was done, it was like, what a waste!
Why did
what a
we do all
waste!
this?
What a
Yeah.
waste of an hour! Because that could have been all that. The meeting was so light yesterday. The agenda was so light. We could have just had lunch and left.
Yeah.
But instead,
I noticed you guys were up there for a long time.
Yeah, it was much longer than
Yeah.
usual because I had extra work.
and there was nothing on the agenda. It was just like a let's go over what we've done and
Heading to a holiday weekend.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And instead, it became this. What's the word? It was like a theory of what we should do and shouldn't do, and both of us were dug in. But the truth is, we agreed on a lot of it, but just the little finer points of it, we really.
Did the attacks at any point become personal? Because that's over the line.
No,
That's good.
It did not, and no, it didn't. And you know, the others sitting around. Surprisingly, at one point, the Littlest Patriot said, "You all don't have to be here for this. You can go." And they all stayed because
Dare anyone to stand?
Are you kidding? This is the most entertaining thing in this building.
in a while,
In a long time.
So that was it yesterday. Two titans of the industry,
Yeah.
going back and forth like that.
Yeah. Especially after you read that list.
That list was all about me. And so then
Likeable.
all right, went to the gym, went to the grocery store, saw the candle. I said, I'll buy the GD thing.
Here.
I'm gonna spend $4.
Well, I see you did that. I was wondering if you went home and took it out on your kids or anything, though.
No.
Okay.
That's generally how these things trickle down.
I was waiting for a Ben.
No, Ben.
Ben, you took the trash
Roll that trash can to the curb.
Ben. That's his impression of me. My son's impression of me.
I love it.
And so no, they weren't home, or I probably would have. And so that's.
So you just bathe yourself in Friends reruns?
Had to, my God, and well, you know what I did? Emergency pickleball. I went ahead and texted it. I just went ahead and texted out and said, "Is anybody available to play right now?" And I just went out there and beat on the pickleball for a while. What else could I do?
Yeah.
You know, that's all it was.
It must have been something in the air yesterday, or maybe that list. Because I got called a Karen.
You got called
Like
a Karen?
a flat out Karen.
No,
I mean,
you didn't.
and maybe I was being one. I don't know.
Well, do tell. What happened to you?
Well, my girlfriend had a really long day yesterday.
All right.
That's how she's just busy from nonstop, and she works very hard.
Okay.
And she just had a terribly long day.
Mm-hmm.
And she came to my place. I made dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tried to do everything
Yep.
nice. She said, "I'm ordering a bottle of wine."
Okay.
I said, "Okay."
To have delivered.
To have delivered. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
There's a place in town. I don't know if I should give the name. But they deliver pretty much anything.
A
Okay.
single bottle?
Yeah, they'll deliver a single bottle.
Really?
We'll just call them No Puff.
Okay.
That's sort of like their name.
No puff.
Yes.
Oh, those guys.
Yes.
All right.
The
They'll
Weed and
deliver
Six guys.
pretty much anything.
What are the weed and sex guys?
The beers and six,
Yeah.
six
Oh,
guys.
beers and
Yeah.
six. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
I've used them since they started here.
He has.
Several times.
Yeah. That's
They're
a fact.
great. It's quick.
Mhm.
So last night she orders her bottle of wine,
Mm-hmm.
and her phone starts ringing.
Mhm.
She goes, "Oh, it's No Puff. You know I hate this
Uh-huh.
because it's somebody always gets lost finding my place. I live in a downtown area."
That's right. You've said before, sometimes they just leave it on the curb or in the
Yeah.
lobby or whatever. Yeah.
Now my girlfriend has changed, and she's wearing one of my T-shirts, which is basically a dress.
You're going to have to let us process that.
Yeah. She's smaller.
Yeah, yeah.
She didn't bring her own comfortable
smaller.
My
clothes.
goodness.
Well,
Boy.
she just, what happens is, we get free T-shirts from things.
Yes.
And what I do is I'll just kind of, if it's, frankly, if it's a 2X or something, that's not going to fit me.
Right.
So I toss it at her.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
she's
not one of your
No.
your
Not one of your
uniform
regulars.
shirts.
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But when she came in, she already had changed,
Mhm.
and she just did the big shirt with just underwear.
Right.
She was like, "I'm just beat. I'm tired." I'm like, "No worries." Well, they call,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this woman who's delivering,
Yeah.
and she says, "I'm downstairs. Can you come meet me?"
Yeah.
Which is my pet peeve for delivery.
You don't like that.
I don't like
you
it.
Don't
If
want to
you're
go downstairs.
delivering, deliver all the way.
Right.
And because it's
I have a
alcohol-
door.
That's right. This
Yeah,
is my home.
exactly.
You bring it to my home. Right.
And I don't think she expected it to be a man either, because it wasn't a man on the order.
I see. So you answered.
Yeah, so because I answered the phone because she's like, I don't want to deal with it. You deal with it. Tell them how to get in here.
Right.
So she says, can you come downstairs?
Is this because the person might be lost or to verify ID?
To verify, well, they have to check ID too. And I said, she said, can you come downstairs? And I said, oh, the gates are unlocked. You just have to open them.
Okay.
And she says, I can't. I have my 3-year-old in the car.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So she was not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
so
escalating the
We're
stakes.
escalating up.
Okay. All right.
My girlfriend's in her underwear. How can I beat that?
Well, I went, your 3-year-old's in the car. You're delivering with a kid.
Oh, no.
And,
You're not supposed to do that?
I don't know. I would think not. It's a company, you know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So I say, give us 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she's like, 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
And I went, yeah. I said, yeah. I just said, yeah, 5 minutes.
One of us has to put a shirt on.
Yes. Well, it has to be her because she has to have her ID.
Oh, she had.
It's under her.
She
Yes.
ordered it. Oh,
So she
gotcha.
is
Okay,
like,
yeah.
my girlfriend is now livid. And
Okay.
she's like, you complain
Mm-hmm.
to me. She's
You.
like, I'm going to go down there and get this, but you complain. This is BS.
To the driver or to the service?
To the service.
I get that sometimes from my wife. She's
Yeah.
like, you need to handle this and you need to be firm.
Yeah.
That's never my,
No.
not my strong suit. I don't
Well,
like doing that.
I think the lady suddenly realized, like, oh, they're pissed, and I probably shouldn't have my kid in the car delivering.
Okay.
So this game begins,
Mm-hmm.
where I guess now my girlfriend goes downstairs.
Yeah.
The lady goes upstairs. They miss each other.
Oh, they didn't. Oh, oh, really?
Yeah.
Passing
So
the
she's running my hallways with the 3-year-old trying to deliver wine. My girlfriend is livid.
Yes.
Because she's up and down the steps. And she's like, they're yelling at each other. Where are you?
Uh huh. Oh,
So she finally finds her because they have to scan your ID and it has
Right.
to be her name.
yes.
So she comes barging back in. She's like, this is BS. You
Yeah.
need to complain.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I'm like, give me your phone. That's how you complain now.
Right.
You don't really talk, you chat.
Yes.
First person I get, you know, you're chatting with somebody who doesn't seem like English is their first language. I don't think they quite understood
Yep.
what I was complaining about. Because
Okay.
I was like, this is BS.
Yeah.
One, you know, if you can't deliver all the way, don't take a delivery job. Two, you probably shouldn't have a 3-year-old in the
In
car.
your car,
delivering.
right while you're delivering. Okay.
So
Is that, I don't know about that. I mean, if
I
you're
don't-
just dropping off food,
I
picking
don't
up
know.
food.
I don't know, but I would think it's a risk for the service.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I that's never even occurred to me that you could have a child in the
Yeah.
car with you.
I mean, to me, and mostly what it was is my girlfriend kept saying, she goes, I don't care if it's bring your kid to work day. You need to bring your kid upstairs.
Right.
My girlfriend's a lot like me on these things.
She wants.
Oh, didn't want to unbuckle the kid from the child safe.
But she's saying, I don't care if there's a kid. I want it to my door.
Right.
Because that's what I paid for,
And
not meet me downstairs.
The kid is keeping the woman from
yeah,
coming up.
don't use your kid as an excuse.
Okay. Gotcha. Yep.
So I just keep saying supervisor. Well, I get up to a supervisor.
Yeah.
And I explain what's going on. I said, I think it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
I said, it's also probably, you know, unsafe to have a 3-year-old.
In the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the supervisor sends back, thank you for letting us know about this egregious issue.
Oh, you
And-
think there's attitude there? Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
follows it up with, I will be sure to let your local warehouse know that you want this single mom fired.
Did you say you wanted her fired?
No.
Boy, that
Yeah.
you don't usually get it back from the people you're
With
compl-
attitude,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
That's what
They
I-
low keyed you.
and
Yeah.
I sent back, I said, what?
That's a low key AH move. Isn't
No.
it?
Total.
That's a
I
Chris Demm.
respect.
That's you're losing him. You're losing Chris Demm.
I'm now on the side of the
Yeah.
stoners.
He likes that.
Well, and then
Yeah.
I said, this is your customer service. You're the supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent back, you're welcome. But he spelled it Y-O-U-R.
Oh, did you go after?
Oh, so of course I correct him. I said, it's your supervisor. And that's
Ooh.
so he's like, anything else?
Okay.
And I was like, no. I was like, you suck. Your company sucks.
You said this to him.
And now my girlfriend's getting mad at me because she's
And
like,
this is a company you've liked and used
loved,
for a
yeah.
while. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And this is so now my girlfriend's getting mad at me because she's like, you're gonna get me banned. You're gonna get me banned.
Because she wants to
This
use
is
them
my
as-
last bottle of
Yes,
Chardonnay.
Right.
Exactly. Because
Okay.
she's like, because we use them. I mean, when she comes home, she's had a bad day. If she doesn't feel like stopping, it's just quick and convenient
Uh-huh.
to have. And a lot of times, it's just the wine.
Right.
But that's what they do.
Okay.
So I got called a Karen when he said, you want this single mom fired.
You're Karen.
I felt very Karen. And I was like, wait a second. I didn't do anything wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
You your delivery person couldn't complete their job.
Right.
I don't know if you're supposed to have a kid. I wouldn't want. I mean,
Yeah.
I've worked in delivery. I could never imagine
A
bringing
kid.
my kid along.
You are running in and out of cars, especially to apartment buildings.
Yeah, I know. I never even thought about that. Maybe you're right.
And I think she could tell. I think, too, because of the name on the order was my girlfriend's name. I think when I answered the phone, she expected a woman.
Yep.
And almost a little bit like, hey.
You're talking about the driver.
The driver. So when I answered, she's like,
Yeah, thrown by that.
Yeah.
But that has to be fairly common, wouldn't you think?
I don't know.
A couple's order, right?
Well, I just know, like, I still work for Marco's Pizza.
I know.
And you can't have people with you.
When you're delivering.
When you're delivering. You can't. It's too much of a liability.
Yeah.
So I would just be surprised. But just the way he said, I'll let the warehouse know you want this single mom fired.
Wow.
You went all the way up to the supervisor.
Dang.
And tried to get your driver fired.
Yeah.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah.
That's a Karen.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, he
you
was American, too. Talking right to you, Marcus at No Puff. Well, because I told him, too, I said, do you have a supervisor? He goes, they're not available. I said, I'm not surprised by that.
Oh, man.
They're going to send you a $5 credit?
That's what the first
did
person
they offer to do that?
The first person says, thank you for letting us know about this. Here's $10. Now, this $10 can't be used towards alcohol in any way or,
Yeah.
And I'm like, $10? What? What is that?
Not enough.
Because I was also trying to prove to my girlfriend that I wanted to be angry for her.
Right, yes.
Like, I knew she had a terribly long day.
Yeah. You're trying to step up.
I was trying to.
step up.
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to prove a point.
Well, I guess we both had a little Karen in us yesterday, didn't we? Both.
I blame that list.
The
maybe,
list.
maybe. I failed. My first yesterday at this time, the list was how to be a nice guy.
Yeah, it's how to be more likable, but no one would describe either one of you as likable.
I failed spectacularly. Walking out of that meeting yesterday, I bet they all were like, "What a grouch!"
Yeah.
That's how they
was that?
Yeah.
Plus, most of them are young. They were looking like, "What is
What's wrong with him?"
Well, exactly. I'm all upset over this one little thing, man. And then yesterday, I mean, Biggie, I left. I walked right out the back door. I was done. And I was in the car. Biggie waved at me, and I was waving him off. Biggie was leaving.
Yeah.
You see that? I saw you.
Bye, Chris. Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Chris. Have a great day. Man, I was steamed. I got in the car, and I was like, he's talking to me like this and that. But... now time's passed, and it's like, okay, everything's fine.
Is this one of those situations, Kelly, with the coworkers where it'll be icy for a while, or do you think you need to break the ice today?
I will break the ice today. I don't think it'll be icy between us because at the end of it, I think the discussion was pretty good. It just ended badly, and it was my fault because I felt like he said something. He put words in my mouth, and then I really ratcheted it. And so the ending, eyes got big, jaws dropped. Dave stopped eating that big moon cookie he was eating.
That's his favorite.
He loves the moon cookie.
I know.